Hey friends and fangirl, and welcome to the Auzzie vlog. I am exhausted. Trying to find a place is exhausting. You go from place to place trying to find somewhere livable, and it's near impossible. Sometimes you find a place that looks like it's good, and you get there and you realize there's 6 people living in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. Alright, let's rewind. I landed from Sydney in St. Kilda. St. Kilda was beautiful. I stayed at the Talarna Hotel. The Talarna Hotel was gorgeous. It was right by the beach. I could walk down to the beach every day, hang out by the pier. It was beautiful. And I'm super missing St. Kilda right now because Melbourne is ridiculous. So for about a couple of days, about a week, I stayed in St. Kilda and went to the beach. In between that, I was looking at places in the city, the CBD, which is a 20-minute streetcar ride away. I was going to get kicked out December 1st, and I didn't have a place to stay, so I had to book an Airbnb, and luckily the Airbnb was right around the corner, and the couple that were hosting me were so nice. Katie and Harley were super, super nice. They were super chill, stayed there for a couple days. Someone told me about the penguins at St. Kilda Pier, so late at night, I tiptoed down to the beach, and there they were. I'll put some of those photos and videos at the end of this video. Those penguins were loud and angry. I think it was mating season or something. But anyway, they were super nice to me while I was looking for a place. And finally I found one close to the CBD. CBD just means Central Business District. But that's where everyone in Melbourne wants to live. Everyone wants to live in the main downtown core area. Now, I live currently in South Bank, which is just like a little borough that's very close. I'm like 10-minute walk away from the free tram zone. Oh yeah, Melbourne has like this little area where the trams or streetcars are free. But it's only like about 4 blocks up and 10 blocks sideways, if that makes sense. So that's good, and that makes life easier, especially since I'm like 10 minutes walking just to get to it. So I rarely have to tap on my key, which is like a card that's very similar to a Presto card. It's spelled MYKI. Yeah. And you tap on and tap off. But now I live in South Bank next to the highway, so all night I can hear transport trucks, loud cars, any sort of delivery vehicle, which is fine, you know, it's a place. And when I first moved in, I moved in with this lovely Australian couple, Freya and Aaron. Aaron was Tassie, and he would do like the funniest Canadian accent at me while we would chat. He was like, oh, eventually you're going to get offended. I'm a Canadian, I don't. If you talk like this to me, and you talk about how we say a boot all the time, I think it's kind of funny. Because the only people that talk like that are the people that are like Northern Ontario or further north Canada or closer to Newfoundland. But I was only with them for about 10 days. After 10 days, they got switched out for an Irish couple, and that's who I'm with now. And I had a better relationship with Freya and Aaron. My current roommates, we're lukewarm. Like, I don't dislike them, but we don't really hang out or anything, or spend time together, or talk. Like, when I was living with Freya and Aaron, we probably had dinner like 3 times, and there was a couple nights where I just came home and me and Aaron would have a couple of drinks and like make jokes and listen to music. It's really not like that with these two. Like, they're engaged, so they're like really into each other. So like that means there's like no room for anyone else. I haven't started working yet, so that's frustrating. I am depleting my Canadian resources. So I really need to start getting, like, I went to a job recruitment agency, so I have a job set up, which starts, I get training on Friday, and then they're off for the whole week of Christmas and New Year, so I don't actually start working until the 2nd of January, which is kind of close. And I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. This is just my little update, so to make this a little bit less negative, because it sounds like I'm complaining, I know. This is still a great adventure. I'm still having a time. I've met some really interesting people, but I would like to have, I very much like to build a close friendship with some people, and it's getting a bit difficult. I don't know why. How? In the comments, tell me how you meet people when you're in another country. How do you make friends? How do you do that? Anyway, so to cheer this thing up, I will explain some Australian slang. One of my favorites is when someone says, "Oh, I had the shits with this person." If you have the shits with someone, that means you're mad at them. See, in Canada, if you have the shits, you have diarrhea. Here, if you have diarrhea, you have gastro. But if you have the shits with someone, you're mad at them. Also, to be cruisy means to be laid back. What else is there? Oh my goodness, I had so many of these before, and now I can't think of any. Oh, shit hot. If something is shit hot, it means it's really cool, it's really in right now. That's what's shit hot. Which I was like, oh wait, what? Is that good? Is it good that something's shit hot? It's good when something's shit hot. Oh yeah, so if they have pints of beer and a half pint is called a schooner. I've never heard the term schooner before in my life. They short form everything. So McDonald's is Macca's. I mean, back home I like to call it McDick's. Or, Macca's. Gonna go get a Big Mac from Macca's. And also they have a Burger King here, but I guess what happened was sometime in the 90s or something, some guy had already copyrighted the term Burger King. So Burger King's name here is Hungry Jack's. I mean, it's the same logo and the same shitty food and everything. It's just called Hungry Jack's instead. So silly. So far I haven't found any kangaroo or crocodile meat, though being promised that it was here and that you can get kangaroo sliders somewhere. I've been looking. Haven't found it yet. I will eventually, don't worry about it. And apparently Melbourne's one of the best places for food. I mean, other cities in Australia are okay, but Melbourne is the place to be for food apparently. So that's when I have some money, I'll have to venture around the food scene here in old Mellytown. No one calls it Mellytown, by the way. Everyone just calls it Melbourne. That's all I can think of right now, so I'll have to post again or make another little video when I can remember all the other slang. Anyway, so this is it for me right now. I'm gonna put on a movie, eat some chocolate, and try to get some sleep, although I haven't really been sleeping. I totally thought that my sleep schedule would fix itself because, I used to have such a terrible sleep schedule. I used to be such an insomniac. I would be awake until 9 in the morning and then sleep from 9 a.m. until 2, 3, 4 p.m. I was like, well, if I move to Australia, it'll be fine because opposite time, so. And it's funny because when I first got to Sydney, it was like that. I was really tired at the appropriate time for sleep, and then after a couple of weeks, I just fell back into being awake until 3, 4, 5 in the morning. So now I have to reset myself to be back to going to bed at 10, 11, 12. Well, I mean midnight. Midnight would be the perfect sleep time. So if anyone has any suggestions for how to get to sleep at an appropriate hour, I would take them. But for now, it's just, it takes me a while to wind down, I think it is. So I need to give myself more appropriate wind down time before I go to bed. Because I just need to decompress after a day of things. A day of wandering around, looking at places, and of course, after I found a place, the next week was just wandering around looking for jobs. So it's one thing and then it's the next. Because I handed out my resume to a bunch of places, a bunch of bars. Made sure I got my liquor license as soon as I got here. Went from place to place. Like, yep, I have my liquor license. Here's my resume. Please take it. No one is hiring until like February or March. So that's how I ended up going to the recruitment agency, because Jesus Christ. And it was funny because I was like, yeah, I'll just be a bartender. Like, that's a really cool, like, backpacker person thing to do. Turns out I will be working in a corporate legal office, scanning documents and being a file clerk. And they're hoping to put me up, like, the temp agency wants to put me up in the ranks of legal receptionist and legal file clerk. Which is funny because that's what my mother wanted me to do back home. And what am I doing? I'm doing that here. How ironic. Ha 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 ha. Oh well. You know what? Life works out in a really funny way. The things that you were meant to do, you eventually do. You're just in a different place and a different time in your life. It all comes around eventually, I guess. And that's what it is. To me, that's a lesson in like karma or irony or something. Just that you're always meant to do what you're going to do, and it'll get you eventually. So, may not have done it back home, but that's what I'm doing here. God, I'm so tired. I'm really excited to get into like some kind of normal schedule. You know, like I have a good gym in this building, and a swimming pool, and a sauna. So I would like my schedule to be get up, go to work, come home, use the gym, go for a swim, shower, go to bed. I would like to rinse, wash, and repeat that. Make some money, take some time off to go traveling, come back, work, make some money, take some time off, go traveling, rinse, wash, repeat. Like, my dream goal is to make a group of friends that I can travel to Bali and Thailand with, because apparently those are their two spots that are kind of like Cuba and the Dominican for us. So it would be super nice if I could make like a group of friends where like we take a week off and we do that. And eventually I want to see New Zealand. But right now that money situation is looking extra tight. So I've been tightening my belt, grocery-wise and food-wise. I have to be very careful about what I buy. I had to buy my whole bedding set. I had to buy all this stuff, like, you think moving across the world is going to be easy. I'm sorry, no one thinks that. But you think it's going to be more simple than it is, and then you get here, and there's all this shit you have to do, and you're like, wow, this is a lot more complicated than I thought it was going to be. I did not give this adventure enough credit. I wish that I had have built up and saved up more money back home before I did this, but it is what it is at this point, you know. It was kind of a now or never moment, and I chose now because I didn't want it to be never, and here I am making the best of it. But I'm lucky. Again, I've been speaking with my mother and my sister, and they've been very supportive about helping me realize that this is doable. I can do this, and I just need to put my nose down and work hard and get things done. Because I need to stay afloat for right now. Like the beginning is the hardest part, and then once I'm settled and once I have a schedule and a routine and like a regular job, then it won't be so bad. It won't be so hard. After that, it's just coasting. So that's my update for right now. It's just me being all upset because I feel like I don't have enough money, and this being a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. But you know what? It's going to get better. I'm certain it's going to get better. It's going to get easier. I just have to work hard, and that's the point. Work hard, do better. That's it. Anyway, so that's it for this update. I'll update you hopefully next week with more exciting adventures in the life of. If you're on my Facebook, I'm really sorry that I haven't been posting pictures. I promise that I will be better about that. So thank you for everyone who's been sending me letters, or who sent me a postcard, or like thank you to my parents who sent me fruit baskets. Those are much appreciated. Those fed me for a week. Thank you to Katie for sending a postcard. If you know, just send me a message or something, and I'll tell you what my Australia address is if like you feel like sending me a card or something, or if you feel like receiving a card, because I figure I'll start doing postcards at some point as well. So if you want that type of communication, because I do, I'm lonely as hell right now. So just drop me a message, drop me a line, and I will make that happen. All right, so I'm gonna head to bed for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. I love you. Bye.